presentation is brought to you by the Electronic Motor Racing Network. We are a for-hire broadcaster. If you would like us to stream your league, contact DayPaulB661 on Discord, member number 1015. Thank you, and enjoy the race.
Hello and welcome to the Electronic Motor Racing Network, presenting the Hauck Designs ASMR Truck Series from iRacing SuperSpeedway, brought to you by Bucket Kicker, feel what you've been missing, and DDS button boxes. If you're looking for a button box, look no further than DSD. And let's look at these points here. Todd Cray moves into the points lead after last week's race at Bristol of Clark Genneken getting loose and Todd getting into the back of him and spinning him around. Bailey Dutton with a strong run comes home P2 and then is able to get that up 3 spots in the playoff standings. So only a few points behind Clark there. And then Darren Clement goes down to 4th position. Scott Bellum moves up 2 to P5. Eric Norowski up to P6. Dave Gage loses a spot down to 7th. Doug Argabright goes up 1. Nick Burlow, unable to complete the entire race, loses 6 positions and goes down to 9th position. So we are here at iRacing SuperSpeedway, and these guys are looking to make up some ground tonight as we have just completed qualifying from the iRacing SuperSpeedway. Looks like we've got a pretty nice day out here today. We are running around 2.55 miles circuit. And it's partly cloudy. 89 degrees Fahrenheit with a track temp of 104, winds out of the west at 13 miles an hour. Let's ask our pole winner what that feels like out there. That's pretty high winds, but didn't seem to impact him at all. So Mr. Clark Genneken on the pole today at iRacing SuperSpeedway. Tell us what you got for these boys tonight, and how's the race going to be?
Well, it don't really matter what I got. It's a plate track. It's going to come down to a little bit of luck and a little bit of not dying. I think I know how to work the draft pretty well, but I'm just going to need some friends here at the end. I got a lot of ground to make up on Todd. I know 7 points doesn't seem like much, but when you run 1-2 as much as we do, it's almost insurmountable. So I got to find a way. I don't know if it's going to be the stage points, race wins, or just some unfortunate things happen on his end, but that's the goal here today is first get a win for myself, but if not, make sure all my teammates finish good as well.
Yeah, 10-4, so any chance that 21 gets loose in front of you and you just happen to bump into him like happened last week?
Nah, that wasn't intentional on his part, and I definitely wouldn't intentionally take out a teammate. If I'm going to win this thing, I want to do it the right way, and I want to earn it.
All right,
10-4,
buddy.
He's going to put up a fight.
Yeah, absolutely, and we look forward to that fight. Just had to get that question in there after last week, and knew it wasn't intentionally, said it wasn't at the time, but glad to hear you guys have moved past that. So good luck tonight in that Kitty Cat Coin Toyota that you drive.
Thank you.
Oh, it is a Chevy. Boy, you switching manufacturers on me. Good luck, buddy.
Thanks, buddy.
All righty. So we're going to go through the field. Starting to the outside of Clark is going to be TJ Krober in that 45. Great qualifying lap by him. The 61 of Daniel Jensen. The 404, Dave Gage. The 32 of Darren Clement rounds out your top 5. And then the 8 of Robert Hunrada. 48 of Eric Norowski, is in P6. Robert Hunrada is in the 8, starting P7. P8, Cody Schultz. 9, Todd Cray has some ground to make up, but he's very aggressive on these plate tracks, so we'll see him come from 9th position. Doug Argerbright rounds out the top 10. Then we got Scott Bellum, Brian Tarnowski, Jordan DeCola, Nick Burlow, Larry Poling, Jesse Hedges, Andrew Maletta, and Bailey Dutton rounding out the field. So as we look at the leader, that is going to be the 27, Clark Genneken, your pole winner, coming down to get the green flag. And they're on the loud pedal. Here he goes. Everybody going to thunder down into turn 1, trying to get up to speed through the gears. No money shifting. Outside line looks pretty organized. 404 was up on TJ Krober. Going to give him a big push down the backstretch. All these drivers going to try to give lots of room here early in this race. Only one quick repair. So we're 3 wide already. Lap number 2. With the 5 of Brian Tarnowski in the middle. He's going to look 3 wide. And he's going to crash. That's the 61. Daniel Jensen, and Brian Tarnowski dies at the end of pit road. And the caution is out. Yeah, driver's not super happy with that move on the radio with Brian. So caution's out. Let's go back and take a look. You see Brian's going to shoot the middle here and just misjudges it off the corner, gets into TJ Krober, and then heads to heaven. Stuck on the barrels. Both of them are stuck on the barrel. Oh, no. Jensen's able to get it going. Let's look at the 61, see what he saw. Just gets doored. Yeah, and he's got to be wondering, what the heck are we doing this early in the race? Now both of those guys are down their only faster pair, and we are not even 3 laps into the race. All right, let's go back to the start of that second lap and look at Brian Tarnowski, if we could, to just see where he started making those moves. So here we go. We're on the... So here's the start of lap 2. Oh, this is the initial start. Yeah, let's see if we can't ride on the roof cam like we just had. The cockpit's good too. We're going to see him start going down the backstretch and immediately goes 3 wide down the backstretch. Not sure if he had any help at all, but yeah, he did have some help behind him. Nick Burlow going to push him up through the middle. Made a ton of ground that way, and then gets here. You see him drift up the track and just now right here you think you might want to settle in, but no, we're going to go for it. We just made a bunch of moves, and then unfortunate right there, and just saw those tire barrels and couldn't do anything about it at that point. So now he's had to tow. He's just been released from the pits. Got that faster pair, and you have to wonder how aggressive he's going to be going forward. So as we're still riding around, why don't we hear it from the horse's mouth? Mr. Brian Tarnowski, we saw you go kamikaze trying to get up through the field early tonight. Tell us what happened there off turn 4.
me and the 88 had a run, so there was a nice hole, so we went up the middle, and I don't know who was in the outside of the front, but I thought I was going to get him on the inside, and he kind of came down, and then I kind of ran out of talent. So, but I thought for sure me and the 88 were going to go right to the front.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, now you're put in a hole with no faster pairs now because of that aggression. Are we going to see you remain that aggressive throughout the rest of the race? You're a lap down now. How do you manage the rest of this 60 lap run after that lap 1 crash?
Once I hit the stage, I get my lap back, then then we'll see. But I like I said, I wouldn't have made that run, but I mean the hole was so big. I mean it just, I figured why not. I thought for sure I had the front. Like I said, I don't think he saw me there, or didn't realize me being there. So. But right, we'll keep it easy. Yeah, obviously I gotta be I put it into the barrels. I don't know if you guys saw that or not, so I didn't hit anybody else. Yeah, so.
Yeah, it looked like you got the 61 and took him down there as well. So.
Like I said, I just had the run was just so good that had to do something with it, and I thought maybe I can get out to the front, at least get to the front lane.
Yep, 10-4, buddy. Well, you got to take those runs when you got them. So, good luck the rest of the way, and we appreciate you giving your perspective on the incident there.
Yeah, for sure. Talk to you guys soon.
All right. Good luck the rest of the way. So, there's Brian Tarnowski's point of view and perspective on the incident there after turn 1 there. So, turn 4. Yeah, sorry. Headed to lap 2. So, pace car is got the lights out, and that pace truck is going to be coming around turn 3 and 4 and getting out of the way here as we get going back green. But right now we have TJ Krober leading the race. Had a great qualifying run. Out of his hometown is Denver, Colorado. Still resides in Colorado. His home track, he says, I guess, is Kansas. Just joined iRacing in October of 2021, so doing a good job up here. Has plenty of natural talent. His first racing game was NASCAR Heat 4, so even still not super long ago that he started playing the racing games or the racing simulation in October 2021. So is on the Ian Honor Racing team. So we appreciate TJ for giving us that info to pass on to you, and we hope that you and all his fans out there just got to know the driver of the 45 a little bit more as he leads the race at iRacing SuperSpeedway. And the pace truck is off. And the green flag is back out. Everybody getting up to speed and getting up through the gears, but it looked like an accordion effect towards the back there as some guys had to check up for the guys in front of them. One of those that had to check up and make evasive action was the 61 of Daniel Jensen, who just had that incident and has to be cautious. See the 88? So the 88 trying to work the middle here. Tried to come down, it looked like in turn 2, but didn't quite have it. So he goes back to the middle, getting a big push from the 60 of Cody Schultz, and is going to have that outside pushing for the lead. But the 27 and 404 are going to be too strong on the bottom, coming back down the front stretch. And you can see that view right there, how spread out they are behind. It's 4 on 4 at the front, 4 up top, 4 on the bottom. The bottom is a lot more organized, it looks like. Doug Argabright in that kitty cat coin sandwich, it looks like. Looks like the 60 of Cody Schultz going to bail on the top lane and try to get down to the bottom. He sees what the writing on the wall is right here, as everybody's going to start moving to the bottom and try to click off some laps, it looks like. And Doug Argabright, unfortunately, gets hung out to dry there. That's the tough part about being in the kitty cat coin sandwich. Don't have any friends. So right now, the leader is Clark Genneken, Dave Gage, Todd Cray, Cody Schultz, Doug Argerbright, Nick Burlow, and Robert Hunrada round out the top 7 in that top 7 draft. Everybody else looking to get organized pretty quick here before they start losing the draft. Looks like the 21's going to go to the outside, trying to take the 60 with him, but the 60 decides, nope, I'm going to take your spot in line down here, buddy. Yep. 404 clips the apron just a little bit, but the 14's coming to the bumper of the 21. Going to try to give him a push down the front stretch, get him back up there. Darren Clement running the bottom, trying to catch up to that bottom pack there. Now moves up to the top lane. Going to try to work on getting around the 14 to get hooked up with his teammate. And then I would imagine to see what they did at Daytona and Talladega earlier this year, where they try to control both lanes at the front and dictate what happens during this race. And you see Darren drop down a little bit there. He's going to go ahead and go to the bottom, and then Todd Cray's going to try to get... They touch! It turns Burlow! Big wreck! Somebody leaves the stadium. Oh my goodness gracious. And that's sometimes what happens when teammates try to work together and things aren't timed correctly. And poor Nick Burlow didn't have any idea what just happened to him. Have not heard anything on the radios, but a little bit of laughter about what happened after it happened. So there you see him touch, and then Nick Burlow just does a... I'm not going to say that. That's probably a 2001 Daytona into the wall. So there we go again. Brian going to be done for the night. The 21 up in the air. Let's see this twirly top from the cockpit. Yeah, you see him. Oh, this isn't the 21. No, the 21 is the cause of the wreck. There we go. So here he goes. He's going to get hit again. Nope. Okay. Going to go back to the beginning. You can't really see anything here. He's going to try to get down in front of the 32 and just get the turn. And you see him go there and woo! Oh my gosh! You didn't see that coming either. And then all you see is the sky. So hey, all the leaders are on pit road. Everybody coming down for their first stop. 8. Something to remember is there are penalties for incident counts. So if you're lucky to survive multiple incidents, there is a penalty after you get that 19th one. It's like they've got 4 sets of tires, including the ones they started the race on. So now only 2 sets left after they just put their first set on. As we're looking at the drivers on pit road getting damage repaired. Let's go ahead and talk to some of the drivers that were in that wreck. I saw 32 of Darren. He was right in the middle of it. So, hey, Darren Clement, it's the guys up in the booth. We just watched that replay back again. You and the 21 Todd Cray trying to get hooked up as teammates there. Did I pull the wrong person? No, okay, I'm looking at you. Sorry. So
Yeah.
Darren, tell us what happened there. You're trying to let Todd down and just got he misjudged a little.
Yeah, just a little misjudgment on there. I was actually trying to clear him and get in front, and the 88 was there, and just, the track causes a bad push up, so I had to move up a little bit, and unfortunately 21 was right there too, so it was just unfortunate incident for us.
Yeah, 10-4. Well, you're going to be coming from 10th place now. A lot of drivers a lap down after having to tow after that. So you're still in this thing, going to try to work your way back up towards the front. Are you going to be as aggressive with no fast repairs left now? Or what's the game plan going the rest of the way?
No, I was just trying to capitalize on some stage points there, and just bad misjudgment. Sorry to all everybody that got involved with that one. Now it's just time to relax until it's like 5 to 10 to go.
10-4, buddy. Well, we appreciate you joining us in the booth, and hope to see you at the end.
Thanks.
All right, we appreciate Darren coming up here and getting his perspective on things. And as we are 1 to green now, it looks like the 26 of Bailey Dutton has circled to the front. Looks like Bailey and Andrew Maletta in the 66 took 2 tires during that stop. So a nice opportunity for these guys up here to get in line. And the 66 and 26 teammates on that Maletta Motorsports. See if they try to work together at all here. Looks like Clark Genneken saved a set of tires. The only one to do that. He took fuel only during that stop. As everybody is back on the loud pedal, you see the gap to those 2 Maletta Motorsports teammates. But the 66 doesn't get down and is not able to clear down with his teammate Bailey Dutton if that was the plan. It looks like the 1 of Scott Bellum is going to bail on that outside line. The 48, Eric Norowski, goes too high in the corner, and that's going to leave the gap to the 21 of Todd Cray to come up the middle. The 60 jumps out of line. Cody Schultz looking for the lead down the backstretch. Now we're 3 wide for the lead. Todd Cray with a huge run down the middle is going to blow past both of them. Bring the 21 Todd Cray to the front with the 88 of Nick Burlow pushing him. And they are still going out there. Nick all over Todd, getting him out as far as possible. The 26 of Bailey Dutton and Cody Schultz working their way to get back up there. The 66 of Andrew Maletta continues to fall. After that restart, not able to get any help on the outside line. You see that red truck at the top of your screen. Now you see Cody Schultz looking to work that bottom line, but the 88 and 21 are pushing hard, and they go to the bottom. Looks like Andrew, no, I'm sorry. It's like the 26 of Bailey Dutton in third there, and Cody Schultz right behind him. Scott Bellum, TJ Krober, Andrew Maletta, your top 5 that time through. The 58, Jordan DeCola, first car 1 lap down, so trying to get it back the hard way. Doug Argerbright also a lap down, trying to get it back the hard way. But he's going to bail on him and say, yep, you're going to send you to the back because I need to be that first car 1 lap down. So Doug doing a little fake out there. Now the 1 of Scott Bellum jumps to the outside. Well, I am seeing that the 21 is actually a lap down, so I was wondering why the leaderboard was looking all wonky, but yeah, the 21 and the 88 are both a lap down. Well, Burlow right now is technically on the lead lap, but the tail end here. Looks like the one of Scott Bellum's going to get pushed out to the front. Almost, not quite. Cody Schultz going to hold on to the lead. There you see a kitty cat coin lined up. All four of them on that outside. Nick Burlow might be, I don't know, if you get hooked up on the front of the, as they're wrecking again, that was Scott Bellum and Dave Gage. It looks like they saved it. No caution is out. Yep, Scott is wrecked. He was on the lead lap, has not used a fast repair yet. Let's go back and take a look. Did he try to get in between those guys, or was it just a push? Like Darren was talking to us about. Oh, he moved up to try to avoid the 58, and who was that came screaming by? Cody Schultz in the 60. Yeah, he's lucky that hole was right there. So he saw that and moves up. And Dave had no time to react, it didn't look like. So Scott goes for a spin there and is... I don't know if he's going to have to use a fast repair since he got hit in the back, but sometimes iRacing's funny and you get engine damage from that kind of stuff. So let's talk to him, see what he saw there. Hey, Scott Bellum, it's the guys in the booth. We saw you reacting to the 58 down on the bottom, and Dave Gage gets into the back of you there. Not a lot of time to react. Do you think you're going to have to use a fast repair from that damage?
I'm pretty much done here. I already used my fast repair in that first one.
Darn. Well, that is unfortunate. Do you have engine damage? Is there any chance you could limp it around here, or are you going to hang it up?
We're going to see how much repairs I need here. It doesn't look terrible, but we'll see.
10-4, buddy. Well, we hope you can get it fixed and stay out there and pick up as many points as possible.
That sounds good, guys.
All right. Thanks, Scott. So, unfortunate to Scott there. No more fast repairs. As you see all these drivers coming down pit road here, probably going to get some fuel and try to make it to the end of the stage. So, while they're doing that and clicking off some caution laps, we are going to take a vocal break on the Electronic Motor Racing Network, and we will have more of the Hauck Designs ASMR Truck Series when we return. Hello and welcome back to the Electronic Motor Racing Network, doing the Hauck Designs ASMR Truck Series from iRacing SuperSpeedway, brought to you by Butt Kicker, Feel What You've Been Missing, and DSD Button Box. We appreciate them for all their support for the Hauck Designs Truck Series, and we have a guest analyst joining the booth, Mr. Drumroll, please, Brian Arnowski. How's it going, buddy?
Fella. Good evening.
So your race didn't go how you wanted it to. Kind of getting some 35 minutes worth of damage fixed here. Elected to join us up in the booth to call the rest of this race. We appreciate it. 'Cause we've got the pace car getting ready to pull off. And while they're getting up to speed, Brian, tell us what they're going through right here. You see a bunch of trucks on the bottom, a lap down.
Well,
what's the goal here?
You get such big runs here. Sometimes it's kind of hard, and you got that bump going in each corner. Into 2 and or 1 and 3. It's I mean, right now you just want to keep it straight. You just want to keep it straight.
Yeah, it's so tough, especially with that big bump that you mentioned, and you get big runs, and it's hard to not take him. As you see the 14 way off pace back there, and he's running with the 21 of Todd Cray. Looks like they're both off pace.
Yeah, it looks like three wide for the lead here. Up front.
Back up front with the 26. Trying to make the middle book work, but Eric Norowski and that 48 gets pushed out by the 88 of Nick Burlow. But here comes Bailey Dutton on the outside, all by himself, powering down the front stretch. Brian, with a run like that, is that one of those runs that you say that you get and it's just hard not to take?
Yeah, that was like lap 1 with me going up the middle. There was such a big hole, and even by myself, I was passing because I had to run. It's just eventually it'll stall out. But yeah, I mean, it's sometimes you catch up on so quick. It's amazing.
Yeah, it is. And so you see Jordan DeCola on the outside now trying to get his lap back. Scott Bellum high coming off pit road. Currently 2 laps down, just went 3, I believe. No, just went 2. So 88 going to stay out front, going to try to come back down to the 48 of Norowski to block Bailey Dutton on the outside, who's being pushed by the 33 of Jesse Hedges. So 33 going to push Dutton back out to the front. Nick Burlow going to try to come back on that inside. And Brian, you had about a half a lap of Nick pushing, and we've seen him push several drivers out to the lead today. What is he doing different that you've seen than maybe some other trucks?
He doesn't try to get in your back bumper. He tries to use the air cushion so it doesn't upset his truck or the truck in front of him. So,
actually see him move to the inside here of Jesse Hedges to try to go 3 wide. He's going to be able to do it, but doesn't have any help.
Yeah, it looked like he got one of those runs where just he had nowhere to go and just went with it.
Yeah, and he actually got under Jesse, and Jesse got stuck in that second lane, and he's going back.
Yeah, I was going to say, look at the 66 up there, and big call out to his stepmom, too. I know she's going through everything that Stace went through right now, so she got diagnosed, so everybody's running the pink ribbons for him and her.
Yeah, and there's a wreck with Cody Schultz and Doug Argerbright. Both of those guys have already been in accidents today. And the 21 may also be involved again. So, yeah. And he towed back to pits. So you see Doug giving him 33 got into the 60, and then Netcode into the 14. It looked like.
Well, I think too. I think the bump is causing havoc too on a lot of these guys.
Yeah, let's take another look, Brian, and see if you've got it right. Here goes the 60, kind of into no man's land right there, nowhere to go. And I think people, yeah, it was Netcode, but you know, a lot of things right now, Brian. We hear a lot of people on the radio right now very upset and frustrated with the racing or quote decisions being made, end quote, and
Or we could say
no
aggressiveness.
no reason to be going 3-4 wide this early in the race with so many laps left.
Well, like I said, I think what's happening is you're getting these runs, and you know, if you let off too much, you lose a draft. If you take the run, sometimes you got to take it 3 wide. You know, it's kind of.
Well, and I understand.
I don't know. Yeah, it's kind of.
I get that, but there's also. Yeah, there's also
keeping everything under control too.
So yeah, there's that, but there's also 35 laps left or 59 laps left, and a lot of give and take early in the race where you have to kind of let off the loud pedal and manage those gaps and manage those runs, or you're not going to get to the end here. And I think that's what we're seeing is a lot of guys not knowing how to manage that run that you get here down those long straightaways, and then you've got those super tight corners where you get 3-4 wide. And you hit those bumps and you push off the corner because it's such a tight radius, and you kind of get into each other. So trying to manage those runs and nobody really being able to do it so far this race, it looks like.
Yeah, and I agree because like I said, I even did it. You know, I had that run and then I lost it on the one. So yeah, it's definitely a give and take. It's just we don't race here a lot, so I think that's where some of the problems coming in.
Yeah, absolutely. And, you know, it is so wide, and so it's inviting to be able to take those runs. But like we've seen tonight, unfortunately, just not able to hold it down. But let's get the perspective of an admin here. Let's get Dave Gage up in the booth with us, man.
Howdy.
Want to get your perspective on the decisions and driving we've been seeing tonight. Just a lot of aggressiveness and everybody taking a run when they have it. Not really being patient to control when they're able to take that. And
Listen.
Give us your perspective here.
Listen, none of us are doctors. We don't have patience. So this track is kind of difficult because honestly, if you're in the back, you got so much error with these things with no restrictor plates on them. They get going. So when you're behind a bunch of people and you get a run, it's really hard just to lay up.
Sure.
And that's what we're seeing a lot of. We're seeing a lot of people not want to lay up. Even we were just having a discussion over the radio. Everybody's like, "Well, I had to go 3 wide because everybody seemed to slow down." I'm like, "Well, no, that was because you had a heck of a drive." But you know, if you lay up a little and have some patience, you'll be all right. But nobody really kind of wants to do that right now because heck, it's time to go apparently. There's been some aggressive driving, but admins maybe yelled a little bit and said, "Hey, let's we're not even halfway yet. Let's get to racing rather than pacing." So we'll see if we can settle down a little.
All right, 10-4, buddy. Well, we appreciate your perspective out here. And,
no worries.
Giving us some.
I only got involved in one of them so far, so you love that, don't you? You know why I picked that?
So. Nice pink uniform, Dave, and we appreciate you being proud of the pink.
Hey, you know why I have a pink uniform?
Let's hear it.
Nobody else has it. When I pull in pit road and I see a bunch of dudes wearing pink, I know exactly where my pit box is.
Well, you know what? You just broadcast that to the world, so
that's fine. If
you're going to show up next week and everybody's going to have pink suits on.
Hey, if they're man enough to drive pink, then let's do it.
10-4, buddy. Good luck the rest of the way, man.
All right, brother. Thank you very much.
Yeah. All right, so there we have it. You know, Brian, he basically, said it's such a big run without restrictor plates that you have to take it. And, it's very hard to let out of it and not take it.
Yeah, exactly. That like I said, you get that run and you kind of get that jitter or that smile on your face, and I ran out
Yep, and so we got the pace truck off and everybody getting back at it. Darren Clement up to the front. And Nick Burlow right there behind him.
No, it's just, these runs are just amazing. So we'll see. Looks like the 66 is going to get one of those runs, so we're going to see what he does with it.
Yeah, we'll see if he chooses to stay in line or not. And it looks like he thought about peeking out, but he was one of the ones that was kind of vocal on the radio, so maybe had a second thought of that before he pulled out there. As the 48's going to go up to the top.
I think the 48's missing that bump at the bottom, or the 88. What Burlow did there, I think he went up and down around that bump. We'll see if he does it again.
Yeah, we'll look at him as he goes back down into turn 1 here.
Yep, nope, he didn't do it that time. He kind of kept it. He came up a little bit, but not as much.
Yeah, it looks like you drift up off the corner. I just saw everybody drift up off the corner where you lose all that banking and it seems like you just push really bad right there. As Jordan DeCola is still the first truck 1 lap down. I think he would have elected for the wave around or to stay out and not pit one of these cautions, but just hasn't had it fall to him yet. We keep having crashes where people are multiple laps down or multiple trucks a lap down. Just hasn't had the luck of getting that lucky dog yet. And you can see everybody's single file here. I think Dave mentioned the admins kind of got on to everybody. And Brian, sometimes when that happens, drivers take note and start listening, right?
Or all of us troublemakers are in the pits already. So,
Well, that could be it, too.
No, but, just the 66. Even though the 88's a teammate of mine, I'm pulling definitely for the 66 today. It'd be cool to see him put that truck in victory lane and everything.
Yeah, absolutely. It sure would be. And you've already mentioned what's going on, so everybody driving with that ribbon on their truck. And you see Nick there. He goes real high into 1 to try to manage that bump. And I think he does it off the turn, too, because he goes up higher than everybody does off of the turn. And you think that's what he's trying to do is just manage that tightness? Or do you think that's him just getting tight?
I think it's a combination.
Great analysis.
No, my granddaughter stepped next to me, so I killed it so you didn't hear her. But no, I think he's trying to do both. I think he's trying to not hit the bump, and then he's also sliding up because of the bump. So I think it's a little bit of each.
Yeah, absolutely. No, just like to see these guys up front that aren't normally here. So Andrew Maletta doing a great job. He's usually in the kind of the back half of the top 10 or just 5th, 6th, 7th position. So it's good to see him running up there in that P2, pushing Nick Burlow, just content right there to be pushing him locked on his bumper there down the backstretch, and it's the apron. So you see that happen sometimes, and you shoot up high, and sometimes when you're 2 and 3 wide, that's also what gets you into trouble, Brian.
Oh, absolutely, because then somebody takes the run up below you or sticks their nose down there and you don't realize they're there. But I think Valetta's too. I think he's playing the fuel mileage game a little bit as well. Let Nick be out there. Save some fuel. A couple laps is a couple laps.
Yeah, how many laps do you get on a tank of gas here at iRacing SuperSpeedway? I know it varies when you're in the draft, but if you're out front like Nick Burlow, what are you getting?
19 maybe, 20 tops. Maybe a little bit more, but I think 20 is going to be good.
So yeah, if you can save a few laps of fuel here, you may be able to make it to the end.
I think the 66 is just bouncing out to cool everything down. Then he gets right back to the tailgate.
Yeah, and that's, you know, something else you have to manage here is all of those big spikes in your water temperature and oil temperature that you have to keep an eye out for. And you see a lot of these guys that have been following starting to duck out. And that's Jordan DeCola, looks like just trying to get some air behind Bailey Dutton. So he's probably trying to push Bailey just to keep up with those front two, because he's got to stay the first one a lap down. And currently he is with Scott Bellum running at the very tail end of this single wide pack. And as we're speaking of the top 3-4 guys here, we're going to look at Bailey Dutton. Focus on him already, or just for a second. Age 25 years old, from Georgia. Home track is Lanier Speedway or Grisham Motorsports Park. He is a collegiate baseball official, so he's calling balls and strikes all day long, so he might make a great admin up in the booth sometimes, making those decisions for these guys racing, because that's a hard decision to make. Brian, tell us a little bit about what goes into those decisions for the admins. Similar to calling balls and strikes for baseball, right?
Oh, absolutely. I actually take my football officiating into it. I look for advantages, who did what. You know, if I'm involved, I definitely step away. But yeah, you got to look at both perspectives and go from there.
Absolutely.
You know.
So Bailey jumping to the outside with Andrew Milletta. Again, those guys are teammates. Right now it's not working because they're too far apart. Bailey's going to have to hurry up and get down in front of those kitty cat coin trucks, and he's able to do that. So he joined iRacing in 2018 and took a long break before restarting in 2021. Like I said, he's on Milletta Motorsports. He enjoys hunting, fishing, and some good old dirt track racing. But doing a good job on the complete opposite here of a paved giant SuperSpeedway. And as those kitty cat coins start to line back up and moving their way back towards the front, and it looks like they're currently running 5th, 6th, and 7th with the 32 of Darren Clement, 27 Clark Genneken, and the 404 of Dave Gage. In that order. Just taking their time, biding their time, working their way back up front. Looks like Nick Burlow has been passed by Robert Hanrada for the lead.
Because they're teammates, I wonder if they're. I wonder if Nick was burning too much fuel. So
yeah,
let his teammate ahead of him. Yeah,
that's a really good point.
Yeah, it looks like Bailey. He's just kind of keeping that distance from the lead, just enough. If there's a problem, that he can avoid it.
And we could see green flag pit stops the way all of this is shaking out, Brian. If we do, how much practice did these guys get going to pit road under green?
I know there were some of us that did it in practice, but there wasn't many. So if they do go green, I think it's going to be interesting to watch.
Yeah, it looks like we're about 5 laps away from that 19 lap mark that you gave us, so I think you're absolutely right with Nick Burlow electing to drop into the second. He's going to be letting out a lot, and you see Andrew Milletta get all over his bumper there because Nick is probably trying to let out of the gas some, and that's just making Milletta get these huge runs. And now, what we just saw, Brian, I want to ask you about that. We see these guys cut so low into this corner, and I've seen probably everybody in the field at least one time go onto the apron a little bit at the beginning of the corner. Tell me why they're doing that. Is that intentional? Is that
No.
it seems to be before the bump.
Yeah, no, there's like a flatter spot right above the yellow line, and if you hit that, it sucks you down. So you don't want to hit that. That'll cause trouble. But yeah, that's what's happening with the 66 there. That's what he did. He hit that flat spot and sucked him down there.
Okay. And so you know where that is as a driver. See, he just did it again.
Yeah, I think he went too early.
Okay.
We'll have to watch that. I'm going to watch him one more time, see if he does it again. But yeah, you don't want to be down there. That bump will send you right up to the top wall.
Yes, he's starting to look high towards the lead, going to take that run that he's been waiting and holding back on.
Yeah, it looks like Jordan.
Bailey Dutton got hung out to dry by the Kitty Cat Coin drivers.
Yeah,
it doesn't look like the 66 is going to be able to make that move, but he falls back in line. No harm, no foul.
No, if Jordan was closer, he would have had it.
Yeah, absolutely. And he thought about jumping back up there, but good thing he didn't, because he did not have the run. And now if he tries, Jordan's lost his momentum. So yeah, they're going to have to sit back and regroup again. So are you able to do the old Daytona Talladega, lay back a little bit, get that guy behind you, get to your bumper, and then get a even bigger run, and maybe he could make that pass?
Oh, absolutely. If the 58 gets to the 66, they'll go around the 88, the 8 with no issues.
So if you're the 66 there and you know that, are you going to lay back a little bit to let that 58 get to your bumper? You think that's a viable option here?
You know, I would, but with a teammate behind the three other Kitty Cat trucks there, I wouldn't lay back too much, because those three will just hook up and go right by all of them. So
yeah,
I think there's kind of I think it's kind of a give and take right now. Yeah, I don't know why he's going down there. That's kind of weird.
The 58 followed in that time, and just like that.
He's gonna lose.
Yep, now he's going to lose all those positions. We'll have to see where he comes in line behind, if he's able to get down in front of Scott Bellum or not, because that is his race. So as we get ready for pit stops, let's go ahead and take a look at our points drivers. Todd Cray going to be the first one. He is currently 15th, 17 laps down, out of the race.
Here comes pit stops. Pit stops coming right now.
Yep, pit stop says the Kitty Cats drop off. So as their competitors, Brian, what are you thinking right now? Are you coming next lap? Do tires make that big of a difference?
I don't think tires. I think tires are gonna be just like Daytona and Talladega. I don't think they weren't that big of a deal. I think it depends how much fuel I got. If I can go an extra lap, I'm gonna take it. But otherwise, yeah, I'm on this speedway. I'm probably going now. Yeah, it looks like the 66 and those guys are coming in this time.
Yeah. 26 almost didn't make it with Doug Argabright on his inside. 33, Jesse Hedges firing down through there. Gets it woed up, but definitely gained some time.
Yeah, the cone is way down that wall, so about a quarter way down that wall. So you don't have to get on it right away at the end of the wall.
Well, he definitely waited to the very last second, that's for sure. And now we're going to see who gets on and off pit road the best. And you see them start to come out. We'll see how organized they are. So they've got 5 trucks in a row right there. That's pretty darn good.
looks like Enrada and Burlow, they were doing some fuel saving because they haven't gone down yet.
Yep, and here comes the pack. And there they go. That is a 1 lap difference on tires. And there's the difference. I am being told they did not take tires. Yep, they did not. They took 2 tires, it looks like, and fuel. So that's going to put those Kitty Cat Coin drivers in the catbird seat.
Well, right now they're on the end of the lead lap because the leaders are right behind them and drafting with them. So.
Well, yeah, as long as there's.
And with them drafting, they're able to stay out longer.
That is very true, but we're going to have to wait and see. They've already passed everyone else, so it depends on how fast you can get on and off pit road by drafting here.
Well, with them having the 4 now, I think Enrada and Burlow are going to be in trouble.
Yeah, you'd think so. So they're just trying to hold on as long as they can here and hope something happens back there in the second pack behind this group, right?
Yeah, if they get a caution, they're definitely ahead of the game. If they could get around some of these guys, that would really make things interesting.
Well, TJ Krober is also on the lead lap there, so he's at the tail end and has already pitted. So you're right; they are going to have those four against 2.
Well, they're pitting now, so we're going to find out.
Yeah, we're going to see how they get on and off, and if they're able to get out. Even if they're able to get out and not be quite as fast as those guys come in, they should be able to catch the draft as they get there. But both of these guys have had issues on pit road in the past. So right now, it is critical for them to hit their pit box perfect.
Looks like the 88 got into his with no issue.
Yeah, the 8 also got into there with no issue. Almost slid over, but
fuel only for the 88.
And fuel only for the 8. And so they were there for 8.6 and 9.1, which is comparable to the 27 and 404.
No, you can go up there, I believe. You just can't go above the next yellow.
So here's the race. They are on the backstretch, and here comes the pack. They're going to be up to speed, but those guys have been drafting, and they're going to blow past them. And they're too slow. They're not going to be able to even catch the tail end of that draft, unfortunately. Well, it almost worked. It worked better than the other group. How about that?
Well, only if their teammate was in the pits, right?
Yeah. So as the leaderboard shuffles, Clark Genneken, Dave Gage, Darren Clement, TJ Krober, the 4 that are in that lead pack. So while we were getting ready to run through the point standings, let's pick that up. We were on the 26 of Bailey Dutton, who currently runs P7, is the first one in that second pack. Running in front of Andrew Maletta, Jesse Hedges, and Cody Schultz. He is P3 in the points, needs a caution to be able to catch back up here. And the way everything is spread out, I would say that hope is dwindling as we hit 10 to go. So right behind Bailey in the points is going to be Darren Clement. Darren currently running P3. doing everything he needs to do to work his way back up into the point standings. Behind Darren is going to be Scott Bellum. Scott has had some rough luck this race, been involved in a couple incidents. We heard from him earlier out of fast repairs. He's been able to keep going around the track, only 2 laps down, but again, needing some cautions to get those laps back, and doesn't look like he's going to get that help. Eric Norowski in the 48 machine. He is currently the last car on the lead lap, and he's running right there behind Scott. Has lost the draft, so not going to be able to make up much ground. Good job of managing this race. Been involved in an incident, but was able to get back up to the front, and is currently running second.
Hate to cut you up, but don't look now, but the 88 and the 8,
they've caught him
and passing them. They haven't been running nose and tail. They've been kind of weaving around, and yep, and here they go.
Able to sniff that draft, like you were saying. And they actually side drafted the 45, who is now losing the draft back there, kind of in no man's land. But yeah, you're right. We're running through the field and going back and forth and didn't even notice it till we got up to Dave Gage. But good job for those guys. Now they have a third car in TJ Krober, where they could make this work if they can get TJ to commit to them.
If you watch the kitty cat guys too, they're not nose to tail. They keep weaving. They keep bouncing around.
Yeah, and they're so tight. Nick making the move, takes out his teammate Dave and the 58 Jordan DeCola, who was about to get the free pass again.
It looked like the 88 had to run underneath and he hit the bump.
Let's get another look. You see, they leave a big gap at the bottom there, and like you said, he had the run, so he's going to try to fill it. Gets off the gas there. And yeah, Dave drifted up mid-corner there, and Nick tried to squeeze in. We're coming down to 8 to go, so, just took the line for 6 to go.
Yeah, I think that's more of just a racing. It's an aggressive move, but it's not, we're at that point in the race where, the hole was there. I don't even know if did they touch?
From that angle, it does not look like it. So
was it air? Was it arrow?
I think it may have been netcode. It's hard when it's that close. You would think it's netcode just from, iRacing's history, but maybe it was air.
Well,
that got packed on. I mean,
they're pushing the air package quite a bit. I mean, there could have been a little air there and a little bit of each, netcode and air.
Let's take a look from this again. No, they touched right there, it looks like to me. It's hard to tell, though. Let's go to let's go to far chase. I think that shows it best. Yeah, it just looks like netcode. I mean, the reason I think that is you look at Dave's truck. If it was aero, I think it would have been a longer process of turning, but it turned suddenly right there, like there was contact or netcode. So, well, unfortunate for that, but fortunately for us, we get a restart, and we're going to be probably 4 to go when we get the restart. So let's take a short break and come back, and we'll get you the finish of the ASMR Hauck Designs Truck Series. And welcome back to the Electronic Motor Racing Network. We will have 4 laps to go at iRacing SuperSpeedway, and we are brought to you by Butt Kicker. Feel what you've been missing. All right, driver. Brian, put us in your seat. We are getting the green with 4 laps to go, and you're sitting there in P3 as Jesse Hedges or P4 as Bailey Dutton. Bailey needs a win here to keep pace with these points leaders. What are you willing to do? We've seen the runs you're getting. Tell us what you're going to do.
I think I'm just gonna sit until the final lap. I'm gonna wait for my run and probably do it turn 3, turn 4, because if you do it too soon, they're gonna get the run back on you. So
Yep.
I think turn 3, turn 4 on the final lap is where you're gonna want to be.
Yeah, I can't disagree there. I mean, we've seen it all race long where drivers have, tried to push and push and push way too early, but now is the time to definitely bide your time. As you know, these guys up front are going to work together to get hooked up.
To be honest, I mean, the 88, he's obviously going to put his nose in there. I don't think we're done with cautions yet either.
Well, we've definitely seen our fair share of cautions. Now the 26 and 33 aren't able to get hooked up. 33 lets out to let the 26 in. What a great teammate, but now he's got to worry about Nick Burlow getting to his outside, but I don't think Nick's got the help. His truck's a little hurt, doesn't have any pushers behind him, so not going to be able to make that run up to the top like he was hoping he could. Nick definitely looking to get these points that he missed last week, but just doesn't have the help out there right now. As you see the 26 and 33 in that Maletta Motorsports pack is sitting back there in 3rd and 4th, just going to try to bide their time, Brian, like you said, and try to get it off turn 4.
Yeah,
but you have to build that run right, because that run doesn't build immediately, does it?
No, but the truck that's in 3rd, he might not need help. Depends, because if they split the 27-32 with his run, he might be able to just pull next to him and go.
Well, we will have to wait and find out as we are coming around to get 2 to go. And don't look any further back. It could be someone behind the 26, Brian. Got the 33 of Jesse Hedges, the 60 of Cody Scholl, Andrew Maletta back there as well, and Nick Burlow, Eric Norowski, TJ Krober, 404, Dave Gage, all back there. Have a shot at this if you get a big enough run as they wreck. The 26 hits the 32, wipes him out, and we will have a green, white, checkered.
And I think the 27 just lost all of his teammates. So it's going to be every man for himself.
Yeah, let's take a look at what happened. Yeah, he slides up the track, and I'm not sure what happened to the 26.
It's kind of that same place that the 404 and the 88. Yeah.
So let's get in far chase here. Now let's ride cockpit and see what happened to the steering wheel in the middle of this corner. So you see him go under him, and it just slides up. We get a glitch right there.
The track's so big. Sometimes I get that with the tracks, to how big it is.
Mm-hmm. Well, let's do a far chase and see if it looks as egregious outside the truck, because that was just a weird. So let's take one more look.
Yeah, could have been.
So maybe he blinked and it freaked him out a little, but I just think, I don't know, it looked like Darren went up after hitting that bump, and I don't know, that's a hard one to call, Brian.
Yeah, it's what, 2 to go? You
I mean,
know?
you have to take that run right now.
Oh,
You know,
absolutely.
we said Burlow had to take it with 6 to go, 7 to go. You know, we're down to 2 to go. You want to split
Yeah.
those coin or those kitty cat coin drivers. And Clark's
Oh,
gonna
yeah.
fake coming to pit.
Absolutely. Anybody should have taken that run if they had it. You know, the spot was there. It's just, you know, with this speedway and that bump, I think we're not used to it, and I think that's getting some of us.
Yep, but that puts the only teammates we have up here now is Bailey Dutton and Jesse Hedges for Maletta Motorsports. And they're going to be split up, so we're going to see how good Clark is at managing a gap with drivers behind him. We've seen what those kitty cat coin drivers can do together on a super speedway. We're about to find out what they have when they're by themselves like the rest of the field has.
I tell you, Clark's always up there for a reason, so I think he'll be able to manage them. But yeah, we'll see if somebody gets a run, or if two of them get a run. Who's he pick?
Yeah, and that's going to be key. And is there going to be anybody that's willing to help Clark after he's won so many races during this season? And is the #1 championship contender. So right now, if you're Clark, let's just think about the points. His #1 and #2 threat in the points are currently out of this race. And those are his two teammates of Darren Clement and Todd Cray, but Bailey Dutton is sitting right there behind him in third. In second place on the track, but third in the points right behind Clark. So do you keep that in mind, Brian, and just try to get a good finish, or are you going to try to put some blocks that could risk your championship?
Well, I think for the 27, I think he sells his fast repair too, right? So as long as he doesn't have to tow, and if there's a problem, he can come right back with a new truck. So, yeah, it's, you know, I don't know. To be honest, I don't know. I think I would be going for the win, but then again, the point should be in your mind.
Yeah, and we're just going to have to wait and find out what he plans to do with it. And maybe we will find out after the race how it turned out and what kind of decisions were made if he's able to stay in that top 3. So right now, let's reset the field after about half the field is currently out of the race. We have up front Clark Genneken and Bailey Dutton, like we have been talking about. Behind them, Jesse Hedges on the inside, Nick Burlow on the outside. TJ Krober in row 3 with Eric Norowski in the 48. And then Scott Bellum and Dave Gage. And then rounding out the lead lap cars is the 32 of Darren Clement, who is still working to catch the pack, along with the 14 of Doug Argabright, who is currently 10 laps down, but has some drivers 8 and 9 laps down that he could pass if he's able to complete the rest of the laps.
I guess we're going to see, too, Clark doesn't have any damage, and the Bailey has some damage. So
Bailey has damage. The
Yep.
88 has damage.
So-
I don't believe the 33 does. I don't think the 48 does.
So that bottom, no, there's 3.
So 3 attempts at green, white, checkered here as the pace truck is off. And we're back on the loud pedal. Bailey Dutton gets in the wall on the restart, and Burlow follows him into it when they get on the gas. Jesse Hedges, Bailey Dutton doesn't get a good start. As we mentioned, Jesse needs to, if he's going to play the teammate game, needs to get up in that second row with him, but he's not going to do it. He's going to lay back just a little bit on Clark. Try to wait till they take the white flag, because if he moves too early, Clark can block it. But here they are. They're all getting stacked up. Eric Norowski to the top. Bailey squeezes him on that third row, but he's going to get there anyway. Bailey's going to come down and try to block TJ. Not going to be able to do it. Now they're 3 wide at the back of the pack, and that's what none of them need to do. Jesse Hedges has done a good job managing that gap, gave himself a huge gap to Clark. Clark couldn't back it up like that. He's going to have a huge run down the front stretch, but he better pull out before Nick Burlow goes high. Neither one of them choose to use that run, but right behind them, Bailey Dutton trying to get back up there. If he's going to win, he's got to make his move now, and he knows it. Trying to side draft on Nick, and he gets enough of him to slow Nick down. But I think that's going to be what Nick needs here. If the 45 can get to him and push him up there, you see him creeping up.
Yep,
Nick
here they go.
doesn't choose to go. Yeah, he doesn't choose to go, Brian. Thinks it's too early, but hits the apron.
It might be too late. Oh, here they go.
Loses control. There's the wreck.
It's going to be Clark, I don't think. Well,
Jesse Hedges is going to go to the bottom, not going to get there. Clark pulls it off. Jesse Hedges not able to get to the line before him. What a race. Clark, Genneken, Jesse Hedges, Eric. Well, let's see who actually crossed the line. Well, Eric was involved in that wreck. I think Scott Bellum.
it looks like Eric TJ Scott.
Eric got across the line, it looks like. Okay. I was just waiting to see. Just left the server very quick. Had enough of this race. So let's get our race winner up here. Clark Genneken able to bring it home without the help of any of his teammates there on that green-white checker. Clark, congratulations. Tell us how you pulled it off today.
Man, I don't know. I lost all my help, and I was pretty much a sitting duck. And then I knew Jesse was going to have a great run off 4. But he lost his help there, and then it was just kind of, Woody wrecked me for it. And he's a good dude. He's a great racer. I respect him a ton, and I appreciate him not dumping me for the win. I knew it was going to be a drag race, but I felt I had the upper hand, and was fortunate enough to come out with it.
10-4, buddy. Well, congratulations. It was a wreck fest. I've heard you say on the radio you had a 0X, so the only one that was able to get through it with no experience points. So, incident points. Tell us how you did that.
Picking and choosing your battles. There's a lot of guys that just wanted to run up to the front all day. But it didn't matter to me. I didn't care. I just wanted to be there at the end. So riding single file on the bottom, it's boring. It's tough. Running through pit road, topping off the fuel to go to the back, it's boring. But it all paid off in the end.
Yes, it did. Tell us who you want to thank before we let you go.
All my boys at ECE, man. Great group. Appreciate them helping. Of course, Kitty Cat Coin. So excited to have them on board. It's been a blast. We've had a lot of success, and I'm looking forward to the future. Infinite Hero, Butt Kicker, Stephen Ayers for the awesome paint schemes, man. They're beautiful. I appreciate you guys broadcasting and all the other admins here that helped the series become what it is.
Absolutely. Well, we appreciate you joining us, Clark. We'll see you again next week running for the championship. You made up a ton of ground on Todd Cray today, so it's going to be a drag race between you two next week.
Oh, yeah. Thanks, man.
All right, let's get our third place finisher. Eric Norowski was able to bring it home P3. Eric, tell us how you did that with a race that just was a race of attrition for the most part.
And you're right. Thanks for having me. I'm happy to get a third place finish. Doing this for a while, doing the SuperSpeedway stuff, you kind of get just to how things go, and you watch people, you see how they work, and there's truck in particular that just like try to stay away from, and that helped me out at the end. And man, that was kind of a long race. Not a lot left, which stinks. Throughout the season, great races, and it's tough here, man. Even though it's so wide, the bank and really just collects trucks and cars. You can't see anything, but it's great. And I'll take that third. Heck yeah, man.
Absolutely, a giant points day for you. Still working on stacking those pennies for the championship points here. So tell us what you need to do, what you could have done. We're watching the replay here. You get 3 wide, squeezed really tight by Bailey down the backstretch. And then you watch the guys in front of you kind of wreck and you get to their outside. Tell us what you saw there at the end.
Yeah, so it's funny, you know how I was like, oh, I do a lot of the super speedway stuff, and I was thinking, man, mostly like Vega, you know, and I was like, when do I make a move? And I just felt I had a big run, I'm gonna try it, and it didn't work. But then I was like, all right, I'll build another run. It's such a long track, and when I saw that happening, I mean, there wasn't much. I feel bad for Bailey, you know, but it's the last. He was gonna spin anyways. It looked like, and I had to just stay in it. And you know, Nick was all over the place. And thank you, Nick, for doing that. You were the one that got me third place. You and my teammate TJ. And yeah, I mean, speaking of teammates, it's funny, man. We went into this not even with a strategy. It's, you know, you never know what's going to happen. Like, I would love to make plans with people and for them to come out, but you just never know what situation's going to arise.
Yeah, absolutely not. It's an unpredictable race, but you were able to bring home P3. Congratulations. You got anybody out there you want to thank before we let you go?
Yeah, man. My girlfriend, she's not watching; she's asleep. But if you know, I'll show her this and she'll appreciate it and get some loving from it. But and you know, just all you guys, everyone here, this league's great, man. Thank you.
Absolutely, man. Well, we appreciate you being here. So thank you for putting on a show, and congratulations on your finish here tonight. And go get them next week, and we hope to see you back, talk to you back next week.
Yeah, man. I hope so too. Thanks.
All right, Eric Norowski finishing P3, but the man that raced clean for the final stretch there, Jesse Hedges, comes home P2, had a big run but lost all his help behind him. Tell us what you saw there on that last lap.
I mean, I saw a lot of mayhem behind me, and I just knew it was me and Clark. I thought I was going to be able to get to him, but I just no help. If I at least had one person, I probably would have beat him.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more with you there. You did everything right. You laid back as long as you could. You made the move. It looked like coming to the line. You were just going to eke him out, but just didn't quite have enough there. So tell us what you did to get that second place finish, though. You were involved in a crash early. And how did your second half of the race change after all of those early cautions?
I just lagged back. I let the pace go and just let everybody fall in line and plucked everybody off. We pitted late to get fuel, and once that yellow came out, it really saved us. I thought we were just finish far back. I mean, we were about 14 seconds behind everybody.
Yeah, well, you did it. You were able to put it all together, and you come home P2. You're rewarded for it. Congratulations. Tell us who you want to thank before we let you go.
I'd like to thank Andrew for allowing me to be a part of his team, get me into this league. You guys for allowing me here. Clark for good racing all the time. And my dad for watching me week in and week out. Well,
it's awesome to have a good support system like that that's willing to support you on the racetrack and in the e-racing community. So we appreciate you joining us, Jesse. Congratulations on the finish, and we can't wait to see you again next week.
Thanks, guys.
All right, that's Jesse Hedges, your second place finisher. So, Brian, as we wrap up here at iRacing SuperSpeedway, give me your final thoughts on what you saw tonight.
Mayhem, aggressiveness, and I'll put myself into that. I just went back and watched my lap one replay. for what I could have done different. But next week, I believe, is what? Auto Club for the championship. So that's going to be interesting. Tires and fuel for that one. So we'll see how that one plays out.
Yeah, it's an interesting track for sure. So we appreciate everybody joining us here on the Electronic Motor Racing Network. And we congratulate to Clark Genneken for his run to the finish without teammates present, and Jesse Hedges for being able to come home P2 without getting dirty and wrecking people for it. And then we also congratulations to Eric Norowski for coming home P3. But we are wrapping up iRacing SuperSpeedway. We're happy to close the book on this one. We look forward to next week, the final race of the season at Auto Club Speedway. So we will crown a champion. Who is going to get the free butt kicker? We appreciate them coming on board and sponsoring the championship. Thank you, DSD, for joining us. My name's Jesse. That's Brian Tarnowski, Eric Bledsoe for Electronic Motor Racing Network. Good night. He plays for the Chiefs.
So
He used to.
he